Once you get your video files into the Camtasia editor, there's a couple of things that you need to know how to do to actually start the editing process. One of those is playing the video in the preview area over here. Okay, see this little green triangle? That's indicating where on the timeline the current playhead is at. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom in. I'm going to zoom in pretty close. And what you see here is a track for video and then a track for audio. And you see when these lines here get thicker? Let's zoom in a little farther if we can. When you're ready to start editing a clip, you've got to be able to watch it, right? Right up here under the preview area, we have some transport controls. And basically, the first one we're going to look at is play, and then we're going to look at stop. Notice this area right here where the playhead is when I click the play button.
Now select the entire window.
Okay, starts moving. Now I'm going to click stop. Now, the playhead is not over here anymore. It's back here again. Okay, again, play.
Now select the entire window.
And stop. So when we click play and stop, the playhead goes back to where it started. Now, this time we're going to click play and notice the button changes to a pause button.
Now select the entire window.
So now when we click pause, notice this line right here. Okay, the playhead has actually stopped there. This time when we click play, it's going to go from this point and continue.
Recording our WordPad session.
Okay. Another thing for you to notice here, let me see if I can get us a little bit more room. This whole area is resizable to a degree, but we are kind of constrained for size right now. So it looks like that's the best I'm going to get. Let me detach this video monitor real quick. Now the only reason that I moved that over just for right now is because I want you to see this whole area right here. And because of the size of our screen, this kind of gets cut off a little bit. But what we get here is the current position in the video in hours, minutes, seconds. Okay, hours here, minutes here, these two digits, and seconds for these two digits. And then we get the length of the clip. And again, hours, minutes, seconds, and then tenths of a second. And there's a little indicator right here. Notice it's at the beginning of this section right here. That's because we're at the beginning of the file. If we click and drag this to somewhere in the middle part, okay, notice visually here I'm about halfway, and on my little transport thing here I'm at about 20 seconds out of 40 seconds, so I'm halfway. If I click and drag all the way to the end, now I'm at the end of the clip, 40-40. Okay, so this is another way that we can quickly go to a specific position in the video clip. Okay, and that moves along as you play the video. You'll notice that that little indicator moves along. Okay, now we're going to click this button again to dock it and attach it back to the preview area here. And there's just a few more buttons here we're going to look at real quick. This button right here takes us to the beginning of the previous clip, and if we only have one clip on the timeline, it'll take us to the beginning of that clip. Okay, this button here does the opposite, takes us to either the end of the current clip if it's the last clip, or it takes us to the beginning of the next clip. So since we don't have any more clips, we just have the one, it takes us to the end of this one. And these buttons right here are for going backwards, kind of like a rewind button and a fast forward button. I find actually that they're pretty slow, and it's a lot quicker either just to click a different place on the timeline or to use this slider and just quickly scrub through and find your location that way. Okay, I will use these previous clip and next clip buttons sometimes if I'm working with multiple clips. It's pretty fast that way. And then if we're at any point in the clip, let's go ahead and go about 2/3 of the way into this clip. If we want to start over and see the clip from the beginning, we can click this button right here. This is play from
That'll
beginning.
select the entire window.
So that takes it all the way back to the
Now we are
beginning and
recording
then starts
our
playing it.
WordPad session. So now we would do our normal.
Okay?